Hello, it is always a pleasure to welcome you to Inspirational Wednesday with Fortune Jeba, where we talk about inspirational tips from the Word of God and where we get inspired every day. And I'm so excited because today we will wrap up our series on the topic that says God's will for you in marriage. Last week I couldn't do the video and I had to get a system to help me do the narration because I was indisposed. But thank God I'm here to do the narration or to conclude the story myself. I did say to you last week that eventually I discovered that the Lord granted my request concerning the kind of man I desired, of course, which is according to His will. While I was pain in my heart, eventually I discovered the Lord actually granted my request. And I did say in that video that a few years down the line, the Lord requested that I write a book concerning or on my husband's life, the testimony of my husband's life. And I was amazed at what I discovered. And here is the book. It says, A Type, David Jeba, A Type of King David. And so this is a book I wrote on my husband's life. And whilst I was comparing his life to the life of King David, I was amazed at what I discovered. I'd like to quickly read it to you. Right? King David Jesse's initials, right? Apostle David Jeba's initials is DJ, David Jeba. David in the Bible is David Jesse, right? The David in the Bible was a king. Apostle Jeba is also a king. That you will find out if you read, you'll get the details when you read the book, right? David Jesse began his leadership at the age of 30. Apostle David Jeba began ministry at the age of 30. He was anointed by Prophet Samuel, right? Prophet Samuel anointed King David in the Bible. Apostle David Jeba was anointed by a man called Apostle Samuel, right? So one of his prophets and mentors is called Prophet Nathan in the Bible, right? So one of the mentors of Apostle David Jeba is called Bishop Nathan, right? So the rulership of King David began at a place called Hebron. And eventually he became the king of the entire Israel. Now the leadership of Apostle David Jeba began in a branch of the Living Truth Church known as the Ephraim branch. And eventually he became general overseer of the entire mission. Now, he succeeded King Saul as king, right? Talking about King David in the Bible, succeeded King Saul as king. And then Apostle David Jeba succeeded a man called Bishop Cletus in his leadership. Now, King David Jesse defeated the giant called Goliath. Apostle David Jeba defeated the marine principalities. The details you will find when you read the book, right? David Jesse married a young lady called Abishai in his later years, right? Apostle David Jeba married a young lady called Fortune right now in his later years, all right? So Jonathan was his very, very close friend, talking about King David Jesse. Now, a man called Samson was a very, very close friend of the Apostle David Jeba. He loved him so much so that the kind of love between them could be described as a kind of love that existed between Jonathan and King David Jesse. King David had unusual strength. Apostle David Jeba has unusual strength. The first 6 sons or children of the King David Jesse were boys, right? The first six children of the Apostle David Jeba are all boys, right? Males. One amongst the sons of David is named Nathan. The first grandson of Apostle David is named Nathan. Yes, King David Jesse was a man after God's own heart. If you know Apostle David Jebba, you will know he loved the Lord so much. So he's also a man after the heart of God. Now for King David Jesse, he has his brothers. 3 of his older brothers were in the army. For Apostle David Jebba, his elder brother was in the army, right? One in his family was named Jesse. The father of David in the Bible was named Jesse. Now, one of the family members of Apostle David, specifically his 3rd son, is named Jesse. Right? King David Jesse suffered many trials. Apostle David Jebba also suffered a lot of trials. The details you will get in this book. Now, King David Jesse had mighty men in his leadership as king. Now, Apostle David Jebba is also graced and blessed with mighty men in his leadership. God gave David, the King David Jesse, rest roundabout at a time in his ministry. And the mercy of the Lord has also allowed Apostle David Jebba to enjoy rest round about. Now, these are some of my findings when comparing the life of Apostle David Jebba to the life of King David Jesse. The details you will find as you read this book. So it was an amazing discovery for me. Now, if you want this book, you could go ahead and contact me. We're making efforts to get the book into Amazon. You can find the book on Amazon. Of course, we'll communicate to you later when that is done. Thank you so much. The Lord has allowed me to also put some other books together. You may be interested in getting some of my books. This happened to be my first book. It was written 11 years ago. That was 2011. It is titled Living the Fulfilled Life. It's a book centered on salvation. It has blessed so many here in Nigeria and other parts of the world. So you can contact me to get this book. Like I said, we're making efforts to get the books into Amazon. Now, my second book, which is titled The Ideal Christian Woman, is not available now. As soon as I can make it available, we'll also make you know about it. Of course, this happened to be my 3rd book. And recently, about 2 years ago, or more than 2 years ago, the Lord allowed me to put this together. It is my most recent book. It is titled Dimensions of Growth. Thank you so much for listening. It is always a pleasure to have you around. Please do remember to follow me on all my social media platforms. Like, subscribe, comment, and share my video. I'll see you in my next one. God bless you, and bye-bye.